Hello everyone, it's Jeremiah here and welcome back to another BrickFilm tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys some tips you can use on how to improve your sets in your BrickFilms. These are all tips that I use when I'm designing my own sets, so hopefully you guys will find this useful, and without further ado, let's get into the first tip. Okay, tip number 1, texture. So this is where I see a lot of people going wrong with their sets is they have little to no texture, and when you have no texture in your sets, it's a very plain and bland look. So what do I mean by texture? Well, let me give you an example. So right here I have a really simple set design, just a plain wall with a window and a trash can. And as you can see, it looks very boring, very plain, and there's not a lot going on. So I'm going to redo this same scene but with added texture. And I think you guys are going to be shocked at how much better it looks. As you can see, just by adding a little bit of texture, it literally brought the whole set to life. And I just did a few simple things: the air vent, the masonry brick in the wall, the border around the window, the pipe, and the cobweb. Just those little things made a huge difference in how the set looks. Now you can apply this to any set you're building, whether it be a wall, house, building, doesn't matter what it is. Anytime you can add texture, it will always make your set look much better. And this was just a very simple example, so when you're doing it yourself, just remember to be creative and there's no limit to what you can do with this. Tip number 2. Whatever set you're building, search up the real life counterpart on Google. This is something I've been doing for quite a while in my own sets, and it has really helped me improve my set design. So let's say you're building an alley scene. Well, what you want to do is go onto Google, search alley, click on images, then you can scroll through the images until you find the one that you like. Once you've found the picture you like, you can then use that as a template to design your set off of. This can really help you improve your set design because you're not just having to build a set from complete scratch. You have something to look at and something to model your set after, and it will really make set design a lot easier. Here's an example of when I've used this technique in my own videos. This is the set design. It was this bank right here, and here's the image that I found on Google to model it off of. And again, this is a great technique and I think it will really help you improve your overall set design. Tip number 3, depth. Anytime you can add depth to your sets, it's going to make it way more visually appealing and it's going to add a little more life to it. So let me give you an example. As you can see right now, this set has no depth and it doesn't look that great. But we can change that by simply adding a tree or a bush or even a distant building. And as you can see, just by adding a little bit of depth to the set made it look 10 times better. So anytime you have a set where the camera is looking at a door or a window, you can really improve the look of the set by adding some depth. And like I showed you, it can be very simple things like distant trees, bushes, or even distant buildings. Tip number 4, the blown out window technique. Although this tip is a little contradictory to the last one, it is still a very useful tip. So what do I mean by blown out window technique? Well, it means to blow out your windows, but not like you think. So coming back to our set we had earlier, as you can see, the window has a very nice white blown out look to it. This is something I've been doing in my sets a lot lately because it saves time of having to build an entire scene outside your windows. I know it's kind of contradictory to the last one like I said, but if you're not in the mood for building a whole scene outside of your windows, you can do this and it's a very nice natural look. So the way I achieved this is very simple. I took my lamp, put it behind the window and just turned it on, and that's all I did. And this will give you a very nice natural white look coming through your windows. Tip number 5. Only build what the camera sees. You've most likely already heard of this one, but I had to include it because it's very important if you're not doing it. Doing this will save you time and Lego bricks. It's a very simple but very important tip that you need to be using in all of your set designs. If the camera can't see it, then there's no point in building it. Tip number 6. Sort and store. This tip may not be about actually building your sets, but trust me, it is going to help you a lot. So you need to find a way to sort and store all of your Lego pieces. This is going to make the set building process much more easy and efficient. So the way I store my Lego bricks is by piece. For example, this drawer contains 1x2 plates, this drawer contains 1x1 bricks, and so on and so forth. Now, you don't have to store yours exactly how I do mine, but this is the method that works best for me and I would recommend it. Some people like to store their pieces by color, so really you just have to decide what works best for you and go with that. But regardless, you need to get your bricks sorted and stored in some way because like I said, it is going to make the set building process much more easy and efficient. Okay guys, that is going to do it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you found it helpful. And like I said, this is all stuff that I use when I'm designing my own set. So hopefully you enjoyed, and be sure to let me know down below what other tutorials you want to see from me in the future. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.